Okay, it's like take 3 of filming making peppers, but we're gonna try it again. The sun is beautiful and I'll take it. It's been like 65 today, so I'm not going to complain. I'm trying to get over a cold, so I was like, what is something low level that's not gonna suck all of my energy, but also like I just needed to get out of bed and be a functioning human. So we're trying to sow peppers. Today is February 28th. I live in zone 7B with an average last frost date of April 20th. So we're starting peppers. I feel like this is a great like time to start peppers. That allows them a great like head start, but you're also not like babysitting them too long, which is a hard balance to like figure out when you are gardening, especially when you're starting a lot of seeds inside. It's always trying to figure out how many shelves do I have open, available, swapping out, when can this go out versus this will need to stay. So these will stay in here. My last, again, average frost is April 20th, but I tend to lean towards closer to May 1st for these to go out, just because Tennessee can be really weird with, I mean, we've had ice storms in May. Last year we had like a flooding, like schools were out in April because we had so much rain. So if we like stay warm, we'll gauge that at that time. But I probably will have these in here from today, which is February 28th, March 1st, all the way through May 1st. So a lot of like babysitting of peppers, but they do take a little while to like get going. I'll be starting these on a heating mat. And the way that I have started these is the bottom portion is worm castings and a seed starting mix. So this is just like the bag that I got from Walmart. All things that I like consume or eat, I use a seed starting mix with the worm castings. All of the flowers that I start, I will grow in a potting mix. Potting mix just is a lot cheaper, and I am not as heartbroken if they don't have as much like germination success rate and getting them outdoors. Like, I love flowers everywhere. I want to support the pollinators, but I also like am not as heartbroken if I have to run to a nursery or a big box to buy flowers as I am with like starting the vegetables, just because you're able to pick way more varieties than what your big box stores offer. So these are the 2x2 cells from Bootstrap Farmers. I will leave the peppers in here the entire time. Towards the end, like probably by mid-April, there's a lot of like watering that has to happen because they are ready to go out, but it's just not always like the outside's not always ready for them. So a lot of like babysitting, I'll take this entire tray and just set it outside for most of the day, which is fine. I think it's a great way to like harden them off, especially that time of year when it truly stays warm, but it's not necessarily like consistent enough that I am going to risk like losing my whole crop of peppers. So anyways, they'll stay in here until they go out. So I don't start them in the little cells just because I don't start a ton of peppers. Like, I think this is quite a bit for what I consume and my family eats, but I don't need a ton of like space. And I know that even if I started them in the 72 cells, like I don't have 72 of these, nor do I have the space to take care of 72 of these if they all grew. So with that seed starting mix and worm casting, I fill that up all the way to this like line. So there's a divot in the inside, and then the top part of that, I use these burpee pellets that I get from Walmart. I think it's the Millennial Gardener did this in one of his pepper videos, and his rationale, I think, was that these are not contaminated, so there's no risk of like gnats and gnat eggs, because these are inside for so long. I hope I really didn't butcher that, but I did take this from him. The only thing that I use these for are my tomatoes, because everything else I either like up pot or they go out, like my brassicas go out quick enough that I don't tend to have that issue. I think in general your seed starting mix is supposed to not be contaminated. So I really don't have that issue with that. It's definitely more my potting mix that I grow my flowers in that I see the like gnats that happen. And I don't know if this prevents like the algae that grows on top. I don't know. I need to do that research, but I do fill them all the way up and then set this on top. These back four, I ran out of seed starting mix. So after this, I'm going to run and get some more because I still have tomatoes, watermelon, pumpkins, all of my like warm flowers. So zinnias, celosia, sunflowers. I still have to start all of that. So I'm not at a place where I don't need any more seed starting mix. So I'm just going to buy some more and then do these other ones later. But we can get started with the ones that I have, and then I'll just finish those last two. So I'm starting, each of these like colors is how I color code them. So I will also label, because banana peppers, all peppers are going to look alike, obviously when they start sprouting. And just to keep things clear, I do label them with the color as well as color code, just so I don't mix things up. So a lot of times, I don't know, let's just say this edge one is taking off. Maybe it's just getting better lighting and it really starts to take off and its leaves are crowding one of the middle ones. A lot of times I'll like swap these out or vice versa, and the colors still help me keep up with who's who. So I have labeled these. I will say that these are all my favorite plastic, and I'm trying to move away from like plastic anyway, so I'm just like reusing these. So if you look, this says celosia and then I wrote banana. But if you are buying these, what are these called? The marking. Why can I not think of the name? Anyway, these are the Fairy Moors ones. I got these from Walmart and I'm not the biggest fan. So for two reasons. One, the like texture on them is weird. It takes like even Sharpie a really long time to like dry. And then the second thing is, I hope you can see that, but they put the Fairy Moors like right in the middle of one of the sides. So you have to like write through it. So you have to be using like a black Sharpie marker to write over it. I just didn't like take the Fairy Moors and put it down here. I don't know. It just like, why would you put that in the middle of the marker, the tag? I don't know. It's such a little thing, but it's also like, think through what your consumer is using it for. So why would you put that there? I don't know. It's little. Anyways, I have my dipper. Peppers, all of them, you are gonna sow about, I thought I got this packet wet. I was really scared. About a quarter of an inch. So I'm just gonna take my dipper and not go super far in, but twist these in. I really like, if you are doing the little pellets and you have kids who you like gardening with you, which my kids love doing this, they're going to be bummed that they missed this, but these, when you get them wet, so I usually just drop them in like my little watering can, and you leave them in there for about 30 seconds, and then I place them back on top of the cell, and they grow like, like a worm. Like they expand and they puff up, and then they crumble into like being able to spread them out like this. And it's just so fun. My kids go crazy. My two littler kids go crazy for watching them do that. So always really fun to get kids in and excited about gardening and growing the things that they eat. So it's a really fun way, if nothing else, the little tablets are fun to do that. So I'm starting 8 of the bell peppers. These are the California Wonders from Burpee. And all of my peppers, tomatoes, that's really it. A lot of my zinnias are all from last year, so I'm trying to use up all these, and then with the thought that I'm going to put in a really big order next year. So these are a little bit older, and so because of that, I am going to drop at least 2 seeds in each of the cells just to ensure that I have good germination and to use up these seeds and not worry about them. Ever forget which one you place seeds in? The good thing is like bell pepper seeds are big enough, but it's not good when you do it for like a snapdragon where you can barely see it. So usually if I forget, I just throw a couple more in there just to make sure that I don't have cells that don't have anything pop up. It drives me crazy to like waste space. I already don't have a ton of like seed starting space, so I never want to risk any of that. All right, so I put 2 to 3 bell pepper seeds in each of those. This California Wonder grows really well for me. The issue is last year I did California Wonder, a different one that was like the giant leader or something like that, and it was a green one. And then I also did the like experiment of I had a bell pepper from my kitchen, and all of them took off and all of them did really well. And these are the only bell pepper seeds that I have left that I want to use up, and I don't know which one. By the time I transplant it out, I just had labeled them bell pepper, so I don't know which ones were which by the time they started growing in the summer. So I'm hoping these are the ones that did well. All of them did really well overall, so I'm confident that these will be fine. Like, they're just a true bell pepper. I know everybody always says like your California Wonders is just a good like tried and true. So those are the California bells. The next one that I'm doing 2 different types of jalapenos. So I'm doing the jalapeno mild and the jalapeno early. These are both from Ferry Morris. I got them at either Lowe's or Walmart. I'm doing 2 of these, and this was the same issue last year. I started way more peppers, and I did not do a great job of labeling. So my jalapenos did well last year, but I didn't keep up with, were they the earlies or were they the milds? So they did well, but I can't tell you which one was which and which one performed better. So I am holding myself to a higher standard of keeping up with that this year, and seeing which one performed better. The one that I really want to try is the Botanical Interest Megatron. I think it's called Megatron jalapeno, which is like supposed to be like, it's a great producer, and it makes like really big jalapenos. So a lot of times I use my jalapenos for like stuffing, and so I think those would be great for that. So that was both of my jalapenos. I am going to actually swap these. So this is my row of jalapenos, but I only made a stick that says early so that I know the first 2 are early, the other 2 are just regular jalapenos. The next one I'm going to start is my banana. I am sowing the banana pepper from Baker Creek, and this one did well last year too. My only like complaint for this one is these banana peppers are huge, and I struggled with like dicing them to pickle them. So the only thing that we use banana peppers for around here are pickling so that we put them on our like subs. So I don't know, they were just gigantic and I had to like really dice them up to be able to pickle them. So I guess it's like a good problem to have, but just keep that in mind if you order those from Baker Creek. All right, that's the banana. And then I'm doing the Cayenne Long Slim from Fairy Morris. This one is organic, but like I don't know, somebody I watched said the comment, like if you want to grow organic, like the actual seed being organic is probably not where you need to worry about it. It's like how you practice organic gardening once you have them out in your garden. So I didn't purposely get this. I think I ran to Walmart or Lowe's and this was like the Cayenne that they had. So these did well. I would say that they did not consistently produce like all at the same time, which was the struggle. So I grow the Cayenne in order to make red pepper flakes. And I feel like I would get like 2 here or 1 there, which then I was not able to like dry and make a jar of red pepper flakes, but that's okay. So I'm growing 4 of those, 4 bananas, 4 jalapenos, 8 bell. And then this one is new to me this year. I'm excited about growing it, but it is the Botanical Interest Candy Cane Chocolate Cherry? Candy Cane Chocolate Cherry. It's variegated and they're supposed to be the same like heat level as a California Bell. But I think they stay a little bit smaller, like closer to your snacking pepper. I will say, I hope that these produce well. I'm excited to grow them. I just love anything that's variegated and they're just so pretty. But they were $6.49 for 10 seeds, which is insane. It's insane. Like truly, I hope that they produce well. So I actually am like hesitant to even sow. So all of these I sowed 2 seeds per cell. And I don't think I'm doing that for these when they're that expensive. Yeah, I think I'm gonna sow. I think what I'm gonna do, we're thinking through this together. Typically I make like 1 hole in the center and put 2 seeds in there. I think what I'm gonna do this time is I'm just going to diagonally make 2 holes like that. And then I'm gonna sow 1 seed in each of those. And then I'll just separate out if I have good germination. I do, or will say, that I do appreciate Johnny Seeds always has their germination rate on their packets. And it just gives you a better idea of, like if it's 85, 90 or higher, I only sow 1 seed, especially if it's a brand new seed. It's not like years old. And I feel like that is just a great way to like help people save seeds. I was trying to see, also I didn't know this, but Botanical Interest, the inside is full of information on the packet or the type of seed that you're sowing. So don't throw away your Botanical Interest ones. You can undo them, and there's a bunch of information in the inside. I was trying to see if they had their germination rate in there, but I don't see it. So we're just gonna sow 2 of them and then transplant them if I have 100% germination rates. And then I'm gonna put these on a heating mat and they should all sprout around the same amount of time. Yeah, these are saying about 10 days. So I'll leave them on the heating mat until they all sprout. I'll leave the humidity dome on them. So like up to 2 weeks for your peppers to sprout. So they'll be on the heating mat under the grow lights with the humidity dome. And I'll report back once they get going. Hopefully if you are starting peppers and you live in the same zone as me, get them going so that we have them ready to put out when our warmer days get here. Thanks for watching. Bye.